What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday, and welcome to episode 6. Is it? Yeah, episode 6 of Joel's CoachCast. So here we go, and we're going to jump right into it, and excited to have this particular guest on tonight. She is just awesome. I've gotten to know her more over this past year, and I think what's so cool about these CoachCasts and also of what's what we're doing here and bringing coaches on is the fact of bringing people on like this next guest that has really gone from the very, very beginning of what a lot of you as coaches are going through right now. Whether if you just joined or you're a newer coach, then that's exactly what this person is all about. So let me do this. We got to invite her on and introducing, as we're waiting for, Jatana Jackson, the queen of Instagram stories herself. And this is what I was excited about, is having her on, because I knew that she was going to have her hair done up like a Cowboys cheerleader, right? Jatana, hi guys, what's up?
Okay, can everybody hear okay? Because I can barely hear you.
You can barely hear me. I can hear you great.
Okay.
I mean, hopefully, you're going to be doing most of the talking, so that's going to be fun.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah. I got my volume turned all the way up.
Yeah. Hey, look, this is still a new thing, going live on Instagram with another person. So it's still, I think Instagram is still trying to figure out the technology. That's okay. So, hey, look, we're going to get going on this one. So, okay. You are the queen of Instagram stories. I will definitely say that. And you're very, very bright right now with your ring light. Your ring light is very bright. Maybe turn it down a little bit. There you go.
There you go.
You were very shiny. So first things first, I want you to tell, because seriously, you have, as I've learned your story and learned more about you and everything, you are literally the epitome of what a lot of Beachbody coaches are when they first start. They had a different job. They had a full-time desk job. So just briefly, say hi to everybody, and then tell them, what it was. Like, how did you get into this? And, and briefly tell them, like, so they understand that you did exactly what a lot of them are going through right now.
Yeah, so I think you just asked me to introduce myself. Like, I literally, you sound like you're whispering. So my name is Jatana Jackson. I am a stay-at-home mom and a full-time Beachbody coach, but it did not start out that way. I was a mom who had 2 babies via C-section and was losing my way in motherhood and decided that I needed to make a change. And the only thing I knew that would kind of help me was health and fitness. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to start working out. So I started doing my Billy Blanks, VHS videos, and started to feel a little bit better, but I was like, okay, I need a little bit more of a challenge. And then I went on to Insanity, which I borrowed from a friend, and fell in love with Insanity, fell in love with Shanti, and then decided about 7 weeks into Insanity that I was like gung-ho about this. And I wanted to tell everybody about it just naturally. I want to tell every mom that it's super easy to get healthy and fit at home while you have your little babies taking naps. And so my coach at the time was like, have you ever considered coaching? And I was like, I don't know what that means. Like, do I gotta get business cards? Or do I gotta go get a certification? I had no clue what I was getting into. But I was like, I love sharing this with other moms. And so I signed up as a coach, no clue what I was getting into, went to my very first summit, and my eyes were just wide open. I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and I was like, oh my word, I can do this. This is exciting. I love these people. I love the culture of it. And so I went home for my very first summit about 6 years ago, and I just haven't turned back since then.
So your job, you were a financial planner, right? You had an office job.
Yes, I worked for wealth management for Wachovia before babies. Yeah.
Right. So what did you start doing first that got you some momentum as a Beachbody coach?
I want to say the very first thing that showed me my first sense of momentum is I got plugged into Team Cup. I got onto a Team Cup team, and those of you who are newer coaches and you're like, what is Team Cup? It was just a contest that Beachbody put on. So I got involved in that. I started attending Super Saturdays, And then I ran my very first, now please don't send me DMs asking me because I don't do them anymore, but I ran my very first free challenge because to me that was non-invasive. It was non-salesy. And so I ran a free challenge. It was called Buns, Guns, and Abs. And I'm pretty sure like somebody else made it up and it was in Facebook world. And I was like, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to put a bunch of women together and we're going to hold each other accountable. And from there, those women, they started doing these Buns, Guns, and Abs challenges and started to buy the challenge packs from me. So the momentum came from jumping in, going to Summit, deciding to run a free group, even though I didn't know what the heck I was doing. So failing forward and just continuing those behaviors over and over and over again until I started to get a group of women who were relying on me for that accountability.
So how long, in terms of how when you first started from your summit, and then you started doing your free challenge, until you started getting that momentum, like was it 6 months? Was it a year? Was it 2? Like what was that?
So, oh gosh, I went to Summit only not too long after I signed up as a coach. So it took me it took me 9 months to go diamond. So for those of you who are like pushing for certain goals and things like that in your business, it took me 9 months because I didn't know what I was doing. But I will say the learning curve has been cut for you guys because everybody is sharing their knowledge. Like Joel has here his CoachCast. Like everybody's sharing their wealth of knowledge. All it takes is for you to jump in and start using it and doing it consistently as if just like everybody else has said. But I'd say, the first year was a bumpy road. I didn't know what I was doing. I was completely clueless. But I stayed with it. Even when it got ugly and yucky and I didn't know what I was doing, I was confused, frustrated. I didn't stop. I didn't give up. And it's the same thing with our health and fitness journey, right? Like we have to stay that consistent path forward, and it might not be this perfect line upwards. But if you stay the path, you're going to get to your goals eventually. And some people get there faster than others. But yeah, it took me some time. My first year was a rocky road for sure.
It was a rocky road. And then you started getting the momentum picked up. And then, let's talk about your stories, because you and your stories, your Instagram stories of you working out is definitely, it's original. It's unique. And so how'd you start doing that? You didn't just wake up one day and be like, hey, I'm going to make this movie of me working out and put it on my stories. So let's give people insight of how you kind of started doing that and how it's become what it has.
Well, a little backstory on that. I was driving my babysitter home one night and I was like, hey girl, because you want to network with everybody. I'm like, hey girl, are you on Facebook? And she was like, yeah, no, Facebook's for old people. And I was like, oh, excuse me. Old people, like I'm slaying Facebook. I got like cute little images and great posts and, people follow me. I thought I was cool and I was jamming on Facebook. And here's this 16-year-old telling me Facebook was for old people. And I'm like, oh, well, she's like, well, my mom's on Facebook, but I'm not. And I was like, oh, okay. So what are you on? She's like, I'm on Instagram. And I'm like, I have an Instagram, but all I use I use it for filters, like pretty filters and things like that. That's what we did back in the day. Right. And so I started to investigate Instagram and I was like, you know what? If things are shifting and changing as an entrepreneur, I have to be mindful of that. Even though I'm really comfortable over on Facebook, I got to change and adjust my sales as things change. And so I started playing around with Instagram. I noticed that there was a stories function on it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so fun because I hate writing long posts. Like it's like trying to come up with good content is time consuming. And for me, it feels so much more natural. And I get to be myself when I can just record myself all throughout my day and bring people into my world rather than feeling like I got to put my world out there so that they will hopefully read what I have to say. And so I just found it to be a more intimate way of sharing my lifestyle, my family, my business, and things like that, where they can feel like they know Jatana even though we've never spoken or seen each other before. So
yeah, I mean, and look, you hit the nail on the head on that one with stories, because it's the first thing before Snapchat was already kind of out there, but stories is because Instagram has such a huge platform, was the first chance for people to have a glimpse not into just one post of your everyday, but like hourly, every minute of your day, and get a sense of that. So do you feel that's what really was a turning point for your momentum in the social media world?
Oh, absolutely. In terms of social, my business has always been like the business side of it and your challenge groups. That is background work. That's relationship building. That's getting into your messages. But if you can understand your social media presence and you can get better at it, you obviously will get more eyes on you, or you'll be able to connect with more people who are within your target market. But yeah, getting into stories was a great way, and getting into building my Instagram so that I had this tribe of people. Like the people who follow me, they're my people. They get me. They think I'm funny. They think I'm goofy. They accept me for who I am. I wear makeup when I work out. They still love me for it. If I don't wear makeup, they love me for it. They know that I like to drive a Jeep. They know I like country music. And if I annoy them, then they don't follow me. So the thing that I love about the culture that you can do, that you can create on Instagram, is you get to create your people, the people
Right.
who love you for being you. And it's been such a natural process. One thing that I will say that I see a lot when I start scrolling through some stories is I see people who are trying to emulate what other people are doing. And I think it's really important to understand who you are, like who you authentically are, so that your message is best received. Because I'm a firm believer that energy transfers. So when people are watching on your story, if it's not a natural energy that's transferring, they're going to be confused and conflicted. And I use this analogy at Summit. I think it's great. I want you guys to go take this fascination quiz that is, I think it's Fascinate Me, or I'll have to look it up and send it to Joel. But it's a fascination quiz. And what it does is it tells you exactly how people best perceive you, which is incredible, because when you understand how people best perceive you, then you are putting your best self forward in front of your audience. And so when I took this quiz, one thing that it said about me, people like high energy, crazy fun, goofy, silly Jatana. They don't like Mystic. Mystique was my negative one that they didn't like. So when I'm like, I'll think the picture's cute, but everybody else is like, no, we want you to be goofy, Jatana.
Yeah.
And so the analogy that I used at Summit was me and Melly Mitro. That's right. Only way I could picture it. It was me trying to be Melly Mitro would be weird on my stories. Like if I got on every morning, I was like, hey guys, today we're going to organize our day, and I got Business Tip Tuesday, and that's Melanie's jam, and Melanie kills it with her jam.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can't imagine Melanie trying to do your stories. Like, I mean, look, I've tried to do a video of your stories. I mean, and you had to edit it, and it still doesn't do your stories justice. And so, and as we're talking through this and people are commenting on this, big question is, or two big questions. Number one is, people's fear and how to get over that fear of being judged, and how to get over that fear of, the haters and social media, because as all of this amazingness of social media is out there, it also brings a lot of internet trolls, as will pop on to live feeds just like this. So for you, and I'm sure because you are a cute little blonde who's perky and attractive, and so you probably get a lot of internet trolls. So how, what do you do about those? How do you put your little wall up, and how do you deal with that barrier?
You surround yourself with incredible people, and use the block button as often as you want. That's the freedom of social media. I mean, I had posted a something on my Jeep that had something that they thought was controversial. I won't even say it because I don't want people attacking me. But and I got hate for that, and I was like, we don't have to be connected. You don't have to follow me, blah, right? So I would say, what, the people who are going to dislike what you do versus the people who are inspired by what you do, the ratio is crazy. It's like 3 to like 300. So the people who don't like what you do are in the minority. They're the weirdos. Yeah. The rest of them are inspired by it. So I'm just going to be myself. And if they don't like my crazy dancing and my silliness and my makeup when I work out, then they don't have to follow me. And if they're going to send me hate, I'm going to block them.
There you go. The block, ladies and gentlemen, use the block button. I use the block button, and it's not very often because I'm pretty transparent. Like, this is what I do. I work out, I drink whiskey, and I have burgers, and like rock music, and I drive a Jeep like Jatana. It's not a Wrangler, but you know, it's okay. It's still a Jeep brand, so I think I still get credit for that. But yeah, you guys, you cannot be scared of putting yourself out there in this business. Like, if you are scared of doing that, then you're not going to succeed in this business, because this is the business of people and social media. And in this business, people connect with people. They're not going to connect with a one picture every single day. So utilizing your stories is huge. And then the second question, you know, that a lot of people are always asking, like, well, how do you use your stories to build a following? So let's talk, you know, so when you do your stories, what is it you think, like, how do you think you get outside what the people who are already following you? Do you think it's hashtags? Do you think, like, so is it just consistency? What is it for you?
There's a few things that you can do to make sure your stories are circulating outside your normal circle of influence. One thing that I always tell my coaches to do is tag their, it doesn't have to be your actual location, because that can be a little creepy sometimes, especially for women. But tagging a location, no matter what, if you have to hide it behind a GIF or something so it doesn't look awkward. I think that my biggest following for some reason is in Toronto. I don't know if they just like my jam or what, but I tag Toronto.
Canada is where it's at. Like, I have a huge following in Canada. I love those guys.
I get a huge, because if you create a business account on Instagram, when you swipe up, you can see insights to your story. And when you tag that location, you can see how many people are viewing you from that location. Fun story though, I had tagged Centerville, Virginia when I went line dancing once. And this girl messages me out of the blue. And this is kind of an example of why tagging is so important, tagging a location. She messages me and she says, "Oh my gosh, I'm not trying to be a creeper, but I've been following you for like 3 weeks now. And I think I saw you in maybe the Centerville, Virginia stories or something. But I am a military wife. My husband's overseas. I don't know anybody. I love country music. I love line dancing. I'm new to Virginia. I'd love to go out line dancing with you sometime." I'm thinking, okay, first of all, girl needs some girlfriends. I got a girlfriend tribe right here, right? Second of all, she's my jam because she likes country music and line dancing. And third, she's a military spouse, so she can coach for free. I'm already like mapping out her future. She doesn't know it yet. But that is an example of why tagging is or tagging your location is important. Hashtags, amazing. I got hair extensions, so now I do hashtag hair extensions. But for a long time, I would do hashtags that, or I encourage you to do hashtags that relate to either outside of health and fitness. So for example, hashtag blonde bob. Okay, so I would go to hashtag blonde bob, I would follow it. You can follow hashtags now. And within that, it would populate, is that a word? Populate your newsfeed with women who were hashtagging blonde bob. Now, of course, I would scan past all the hairdressers and things like that. But when I saw a woman who just got her hair done and she had 16 likes on a photo and she's showing her friends, you know, her cute blonde bob that she just got, I am liking, following, going to her page, commenting, "Oh my gosh, your beach waves look so cute. How did you do that?" And interacting with like-minded chicks who are going to get me too. So finding those hashtags that are you and following them so that your newsfeed is populated with what your jam is. So smoky eye, blonde bob, you name it.
So look, but I think what's a huge point to take away from that I hope everyone got was the fact that it's not just about you putting hashtags out there, it's you doing the hashtag search yourself and looking. So if you're wanting to attract like-minded people, then search those hashtags that you like. So I would not search blonde bob hashtag or smoky eye hashtag. It would be a little bit weird. I think if I did, I probably would get blocked by a lot of people if I did that. But I would search hashtags of, you know, I love cheeseburgers and hashtag, you know, whiskey forever. You know, you find out those hashtags that are going to work for you. And that's what's going to be huge. And I'm so glad you said that. I hope people really get that as a takeaway tonight on this, because that's huge. And so so now you have over 100,000, like 115,000 followers, I think, on Instagram. which is phenomenal. And you're killing your stories. And you know, the final thing to this is you've gone through a lot of changes recently as well. You've moved, and you've gone through all kinds of sort of things. And so I want my question based on that is, what have you done? Because you're not as consistent from what you used to be doing, because you don't have your dedicated corner anymore, in your basement. So, for you, how is it that you're moving forward and still be able to maintain some consistency with all of your changes?
Yeah, I think when you go through especially as a coach, and you go through life changes, whether it's a move, or you're pregnant, and then you had a baby and you're not getting any sleep, you have to just do the simple behavior. So when I moved and things were chaotic and there was, okay. See,
I hit that. See, there's always going to be internet trolls if you guys have watched the comments. Yeah, we blocked. Yeah. I blocked him. Blocked Rashi. He's blocked. Keep going.
Bye bye, Rashi. Peace, Felicia. I think it's staying true to those vital things. Like right now, my life is hectic. I am unpacking boxes, but I know that every morning I drink my shake. So I try to show my audience, here's my shake. This is what I'm drinking. I meal prep. So I show my audience that. I show my audience my workout, even if it's on a patio or it's in a bedroom. I'm showing them that I'm doing it. Is it well produced? Maybe not. But that's not necessarily what everybody needs to see all the time. They need to see that life happens, and you can still get it done. And that is the biggest testament you can give to your audience, is that you are going through life too, just like they are, yet you are still taking that time each day to pour into yourself, to fuel your body right. Even if it's kids crawling on you and boxes all around you, you're still getting it done. And so that's what stories are supposed to be. They're not supposed to be something that is super hyper produced. They're supposed to be real life, bringing people into your reality. And so that's what I've done with this move, is just making sure that I'm staying on point with the basics. And will I start layering things and getting more, fancy with them? Yeah, because I have fun with it. But right now, life's crazy. So they're going to get the basics.
But and the outcome of this is always, and the learning from this is, consistency is huge. It's a must. Consistency is, as Carl says, non-negotiable. You have to be consistent with everything you do, not just from if we talk about consistency in Live 4 and in the fitness perspective and your nutritional aspect of it, but it's also from the business aspect of it. So Jatana, that's amazing, and you are a testament to consistency, which is awesome, and wonderful hair extensions too. So, okay, so your final thoughts, your Jatana's words of wisdom.
Oh gosh, world peace. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, this is not. By the way, if you guys didn't know, she's a beauty queen as well. So of course she's gonna go world peace. But aside from, until we get that, what else would you say?
Sorry, that was funny. No, gosh.
Business related, of course.
Business related. This is something that I tell my coaches all the time, and I can't say it enough, outside of Carl's wisdom of being consistent and it being a non-negotiable. This journey is a wild, crazy one. And it seriously, it doesn't correlate. It correlates the best with your fitness journey. The best. Your business and your fitness journey are so similar. When you slack off on your eating and you slack off on your workouts, what happens? You start seeing your results slip, and you start gaining weight, or you start feeling yucky. When you stay disconnected from your team, or you stop doing the vital behaviors, or you stop growing your social media and adding new faces to your social media platforms, you're going to see your business start to slow down. So you have to be really persistent on what your goals are. So keep adding, building, and doing the vital behaviors, and you're going to see your business grow.
There you go. From the queen of Instagram stories herself. So obviously, if you're not following Jatana, you should, because you can watch her stories. And she is consistent. Her shakes every morning, and then the workouts, and it's awesome. And I've even learned so much from your stories as well. About one, I can't booty shake as well as you can. And two, and I gave up on that one. So Jatana, thanks so much, babe. So happy to have you on. Congrats on everything so far. And you know what, we're going to be talking soon anyway. So thank you again.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Jatana. Yes, she is absolutely awesome. And as all of you guys are, this is awesome. You know, we're increasing every single week in people that are watching this, and I think people are starting to enjoy it. And hopefully, you are going back and watching these. You know, this is the sixth one. Last week we had who did we have on last week? We had Autumn, and then the week before that we had Carl, and then we've had so many great people on already sharing so many tips from the business side. And this is what's so cool as we continue. I'm just going to keep pushing this and continue to push knowledge out, and hopefully, you know, as much of the business aspect of, you know, as I can through this, because I know this is what is going to help you as a coach to succeed, and just continue to keep working with this, guys. Persistence and consistency are those two main things that I promise you, are going to hear come up in every single one of these CoachCasts. It is totally legit. All right, so watch this back. If you missed anything, I'll upload it to my YouTube as always, and we're gonna do it again next week. Yeah, we got one more week, and we probably might take Christmas week off. We'll see, but we got another one coming. So have a great rest of your night. Thank you guys so much for tuning on. Later.